29 Laptop Bomb Sale. Kim, Jinmi. I've never bought a computer in my entire life, so I've been searching for a computer for over a month. It's been 5 years since I graduated from school, and even when I was in school, I received a computer from my father and younger sisters used it. It took its 30 minutes to boot up, 1 minute to change one screen, and 1 hour to do internet banking once. Still, I didn't do much other than work on documents and send them by email, so I managed to survive until graduation. Upon graduation, the junk computer went straight to the dump. The room was also cramped, but the empty space felt spacious. After graduating from school, I wondered if there was anything I could use the computer for, but I had to use it. So I went to the municipal library every day to work on documents, watch movies, and read books. I've been doing that for a few years, but I've been doing well, but there's a problem. From the city of Wuhan, China, the plague has spread all over the world. So I wore a mask and went to the library. Aren't the aunt, uncle, and elementary school students sitting across from each other coughing as a group while working on documents? It was so bad that I didn't feel well all day. Isn't it common sense that people coughing like that shouldn't come to public places? Still, I kept going, but one day I got a phone call from my sister. Sister. You were in the library from morning to evening. Hey. I write for 2.5 hours, watch a 2.5 hour movie, and spend the other 2 or 3 hours reading a book. Yes. I know. Do you come in for dinner? But these days, the situation is chaotic, can't you go to the library? Do you have to read a book there? No, I don't have a computer, so I work on documents in the library. So it is. I can't watch the movie. I can also read books at home. Father and mother are also old, but if you get an infection in a public place, it's over, isn't it? Well. Then what? Just buy a cheap computer. Can you buy a used one? Yeah, is that so? I have survived without a computer until now, but is this the limit now? Yes. Sister. Don't go to the library. Okay. Now I finally have to buy a computer. I did a storm search on the internet shopping mall. Actually, I did a search a few months ago, but I was still holding on to using the library. Now, I can't help it. Meanwhile, a text message came from the library. The library is closed and cannot be used. What? Is the door closed because I'm not going? In fact, infections have started to appear in our area. It is a natural procedure. Public facilities should be closed. So, while I was searching for used computers every day, I read the reviews and found that about 10% of them had defective products and had trouble getting them exchanged or refunded. Became troubled if I'm lucky, but if I'm unlucky, I'll get hit with something like that. Anyway, I don't do much other than paperwork, so I'd rather just buy a new low-spec computer. So, I searched for a low-end computer with a similar level to the mid-range price. Besides, it was said that the new school year was in full swing, so I finally bought a 14-inch laptop on the last day of the sale. My first computer in my life. Whether it's a desktop or a laptop, I bought it for the first time. I never bought it when I was in school, but now I am. Indeed, I survived enough to survive, but I ended up buying it because there was Wuhan virus. By the way, my father's laptop is 15 inches, and I thought it wouldn't be much if there was a difference of 1 inch, but when I received it, it was very small. One size difference was quite large. That's why everyone buys the 15-inch model. I also wondered if I had bought the wrong one. However, since it is small in size, it fits easily in my bag and is suitable for portability. The problem was that the price of the product with and without Windows 10 and Microsoft programs was 60,000 won, so I bought the one without it. I was wrong. When I called the computer repair shop, one house called for 50,000 won and asked for travel expenses. When I called another house, they said that it was 30,000 won at first, and they said that it was 40,001 when I told him to install Hangul 2020 as well. So it was said the problem was next. My parents were furious. It was crazy to have an outsider in this yard where the virus is spreading. What? Really? I did something crazy. Parents told me to cancel right away, but I bought a so-called Tinkin laptop, so I couldn't run it in this state at all. Outsiders are never allowed into the house, so parents told me to go outside and lay it down and not come home for 2 weeks. It was really dark in front of my eyes. I got a call from a computer engineer. Tell me the address. There, engineer. I'm sorry. Where have you been? Go everywhere. Oh. My parents over there told me not to let outsiders into the house, so I have to work in the coffee shop in front of my house. Would you like to come over there? All right. Come over there. In the meantime, I called the management office and asked if I could use the management office for about 30 minutes. Of course they said no. Meanwhile, the engineer arrived. I grabbed my tin laptop and went downstairs. But another problem arose. Indeed. The coffee shop was not allowed to enter, and the nearby convenience store said that everything was not allowed. Finally, I went to the guard's office and asked the man if I could use the power cord for about half an hour. The guard said so. You don't know how grateful I was. I ran to the engineer and told him to come here. The guard room was small, but the 3 of them squatted to work. Another problem arose. It was that the computer I bought was too low spec, so the program could not be installed. Then he asked me to show the shopping center and the products I bought. I searched again to show him, and I can't believe it. I bought it on the last day of the big bomb sale. Now that the sale is over, the price has come down even more with a discount. Blood pressure soared. They said it was a bomb sale. How come it's cheaper now that the sale is over? The engineer read the product description and said that I bought a product that was too cheap, and he used jargon that I did not understand. Then he asked for 10,001 for a business trip. I was so ridiculous that I said, should I return it? If I remove the sticker on the product packaging, it says that it cannot be returned, but it is a new product. Had I known this would be the case, I would have just bought a used one. Second hand is all programs are installed. Upset. Try it one more time, and if it doesn't work, return it. The engineer touched the laptop and said it suddenly happened. I lived. That's fortunate. Meanwhile, the engineer was talking to another person on the phone, but the content was unusual. It seems to be about a fight, but the problem was taking off the mask and chatting in a storm. This virus is a droplet infection, will he spit a lot? 30 minutes to do that. I'm nervous. Excuse me. Can't you just focus on your work? Then he pretends to be quiet with his finger. I do it 100 times a day, so I do it all over the phone. Also, the program has not been installed yet, but is it not unplugging the installation USB? Excuse me. It is installing it right now, can't you just unplug it? It's not something I do in a day or two, is it because I do it all by myself? Rather, he shouted. I had nothing to do, so I stood still. Finally the work was done. The engineer demanded 50,001. Excuse me. I ended up talking with your boss for 40,001. And 2 years ago, when I installed Windows on my father's laptop, I gave him 20,001. In our company, we received 30,001 for 10 years. Anyone who knows 20,001 can do it. Okay, so please give me 40,001. I paid 40,001 and entered the house. Come to think of it, there is only one program USB. I have Windows 10 apart. MS Soft. Separately. I thought it was a separate Korean language, so I thought it was 40,001 because it was reduced from 50,001. In the end, Windows 10. 30,001 was all included. It was a rip-off after all. All the while he was working on my laptop, saying it couldn't be because it had low specs, and he was salting it while saying that I bought a cheap one. I'm going to get upset too, but in the end, I'm saying that I even ripped it off. Because I was upset, my bronchial tube seemed strange, my lungs felt strange, and I couldn't help but feel uncomfortable, so I disinfected my laptop, my hands, and my face with hand sanitizer. Then I hung clothes, gloves, and masks outside. Still, in this situation, the engineers risk their lives to earn tens of thousands of won, and I risked my life to install the OS. I thought it was a waste of effort because we suffered each other. Thinking that way made me feel at ease. Yes. Imagine a young man risking his life and struggling to earn money, but I paid for the tip. This is how it happened. Both the engineer and I wanted to pass without any infection. But for a while, I was working on a document and saving it, but it was impossible to save a PDF. It appeared that the program was not installed. I called the computer repairman again. If you don't have the Korean program installed, you may be annoyed that it can't be saved, but I asked you to install it again. Of course, politely. But he said he never did anything wrong and told me to take care of it. So I called the boss. The boss tells the driver to call. I told the driver and he said he wouldn't come. Then the boss hung up the phone and never picked up again. My blood pressure went up, so I called the engineer again. Didn't get it, so I texted. I took a screenshot of the screen indicating that the program was not installed and sent it as an attachment. It is clear that the program is underinstalled. Did you unplug the USB while the program was not installed? I said that you shouldn't pick it up yet, so didn't you just pick it up because you thought it was okay? Didn't you say that my laptop is of low specification and that it's slow and unplug it during installation? Sent like this. There was also no reply. I sent more. Then he called me and said, "If you protest by phone or text once more, I will sue for obstruction of business." I'm so startled. What are you talking about? Even he spoke half talk? But, on the phone. Ask a genuine Korean company called for a repair. And he hung up. I was so stunned and tantrums that I deeply regretted buying a tin laptop. And I actually went to the Korean and Computer Genuine website and downloaded the Korean program. How much regret! In addition to wasting money, time, and effort, I was insulted by a blue young boy and scolded by my parents. After downloading the genuine Korean version, I contacted the shopping center where I purchased the laptop. The laptop I bought on the evening of the last day of the bomb sale at your shopping mall was priced down when I went back to the same time I bought it and delivered it, so how can the sale end be cheaper than the sale period? Then what good is all the sale? Customer, I know what you are saying, but if it is a day or two after purchase, you can't cancel the purchase and purchase again. No, the price was definitely cut right after the sale was over. What do you mean by that? We will see if we can return the reduced amount to the computer company, but I don't think it's out of date. I waited a few more days to find out. But no contact came. I called again. You said you would find out, but what happened? Computer companies say that compensation is difficult. Then you have to return the difference at the shopping mall where you sold the computer. There was a bomb sale there, and they lowered the price after the sale was over. It's a bit difficult, though. Look. In other shopping malls other than this shopping mall, the price cut is immediately returned in cash. However, your shopping mall doesn't refund me in cash even if I cancel the purchase, but puts it into the shopping mall's cash, but I can't find it right away, and it takes an extra week to get a refund by applying for a refund. Compare how other shopping malls refund and return the difference. After arguing for a few days, they said they would deposit it with their shopping mall points. It is also non-refundable. It says to use it only in their own shopping mall. I said yes because I thought it was enough to do that. I realized this. 1. Don't be fooled by the bomb sale. Goods can be purchased anytime, anywhere. 2. Buy a genuine program.